think that it's important for our young people to be a part of this experience?
I believe a lot of the young people, a lot of our African American young people, I'm gonna say they're a little spoiled. I'm gonna say I've seen a lot of.
Is it a little spoiled or?
They are. Some of the things that we saw some of these young people doing, walking up and down the street, but they got things on their heads, they're working,
They
even
kind of got a sense of entitlement, like they just want to give them. They don't have to work.
Give them what they want. Why do I got to carry that? Why do you see some teenagers walking down carrying boards on top of their heads? Like, I'm not doing that. A lot of our kids don't have they're missing that work ethic. A lot of young people are missing that work ethic because a lot of parents, we have a tendency to just give kids. Because a lot of us weren't taught the hustle. We did not see any starving children with flies.
See? See what I'm saying? Still here in Accra, Ghana, and we're wrapping up another one of our Maximum Impact tours right here to so many different parts of Ghana, the history, the culture, the cuisine, and this couple right here, they have had an experience and they made some things happen in order to get here. They were trying to come last month, and I think you said June. And it just wasn't trying to happen. But somehow you just y'all worked everything out. Got it together and made it happen. So they're going to share their story with you. And again, this tells you how important it is. So anyway, I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you, and then we're going to start our conversation.
All right, we are the Boyles. I'm Chris, and this is my beautiful wife, Lydia.
Hi.
All right, the Boyles. I like I said, you got that flow with it. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so why did the two of you decide to come to Ghana and West Africa, of all places in the world?
That's kind of a long answer that I have to try to shorten.
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking about coming to Ghana. Of course, one day in the future, Africa would be a great place to visit. And I was doing some research last year on some other topics, and your video popped up after a video that I was watching because it said it was recommended based on what I watch. And I was just like, oh, what's he talking about? Hey, look at this. This guy, went to Ghana.
That was the Ghana Chronicles?
That was the Ghana Chronicles. And it just randomly popped up in my queue, and I just watched it. It was like, that would be interesting. So I subscribed to your channel and then started watching all your videos.
So YouTube works, y'all.
YouTube works because
so
I don't know anything else about you except for YouTube.
Wow.
That's it.
I got a long story. That's all they know, YouTube.
That's all I got. And so when some things seem like, wait, this could be a reality. And then there was another guy that I follow who was here doing a history or whatever of the slave trade.
Oh, okay.
And he popped up one Sunday morning, and I was watching him, and I was just like, hey, what if we went to Ghana? Remember that guy in the YouTube video? So let me go back to the YouTube video.
Come on, YouTube.
Yes. And basically asked him, like, what do you think? And he was just like, yeah. I was like, we go to Jamaica.
Right, I remember on our discovery call.
Yeah.
We talked about it was the option between Ghana and Jamaica.
Yeah,
that's cheaper. Shout out to all the Jamaicans too. Shout out to all we're going to come represent Jamaica too. Right?
Jamaica's cheaper. I was like, well, what about that? And he said, Ghana. And I was just like, okay. Then in my mind, I'm going through but what? So we went on the website, looked at the price and everything. This is probably the most expensive trip. No, it's not probably. This is the most expensive trip that we've ever taken.
All right. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Join the club.
Right.
We are now
officially
a part of expensive trips. The expensive trip club.
And honestly, there's no price tag.
Right.
Like this, every dime
Well worth it. Well worth
Yeah,
it.
well worth it.
Okay, you were talking about it, how it was the most expensive trip that you've ever taken.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you take a trip that was so expensive, and what are your thoughts about it now that it's wrapping up?
That it was worth every dime. Originally, it's like you look at the price tag only, but you're not looking at all of the things that come with it. Like every day we have been running from the time we got here till
But
today.
I warned you, though.
You warned us.
I warned you.
And so your transportation, all of the sites that we went to, like going 3.5, depending on traffic, 6 hours.
Tell about the traffic. I tell you about that traffic.
To Cape Coast and back, and we didn't have to pay extra fees for that. So
Right.
the price, and we were here for 8 days.
It'll be 8 days, yes.
Yeah, 8 days tomorrow. I mean, you can't.
But a lot of people don't see it like that. A lot of people look at the price, and one of the things that I tell people is that what are you missing out on?
Everything.
So what is you understand? It's when you start thinking about cost, because you could, and I say this with an entrepreneurial mindset. But you can always make more money.
Right.
But it's like experiences you don't get over and over,
Right.
or this type of experience. So it just kind of resonated with me. Okay.
Yeah. And so even like when you talk about thinking as an entrepreneur, so then something that happened over like the last couple of days was, I have a contact now.
Right. You have
Kwame. I have a business card.
That's right. Okay.
And
right.
Yeah.
And it was Money and everybody, the whole crew.
The whole crew. And so with Kwame, now I have a business.
So tell us a little bit about that.
I had always wanted to do some type of boutique. I do some other stuff on the side as well. But
following your true African roots.
Right. So
See?
African Imports by LG. Yeah. So
African Imports by LG.
give me a week. So I made that big purchase. So yesterday I bought. I bought a lot of stuff because my goal when we got on the call, I talked to him. So here goes. A few weeks ago I was just like, I need to write this trip off next year. How can I do that? What? What'd you say, Lord? Oh. And so business trip. And it turned into, okay, I'm going to designate a certain amount of money to invest in with pure African, products.
Yes.
Because there is a market for that. Maybe not in my city, but around.
You might be surprised.
Okay, well, yeah. And,
put it out there and see what happens.
Oh, yeah, it's going to give me a week. And and so I saw you do a video, YouTube. You did a video, and you were at Miss Money's place.
Miss Money.
And the girl who was working
Yes.
behind there, okay. And you were like, I don't know what to do with no waist beads or whatnot. And she said, oh, people come over here all the time and they buy them and take them back and sell them.
Isn't that something?
And I said, aha, yeah, okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
So now you're going into the waist beads business, or whatever.
Oh, it's bags, it's waist beads, it's jewelry, it's other things.
So you'll end up.
I purchased a lot of things, yeah.
So you'll end up being able to write off your trip.
Yeah.
But then you'll also be able to monetize the trip by way of what you purchased. Mm-hmm. So, and with the success of the business, this was a business trip.
Yeah.
It was a vacation, cultural experience. And if you had been stuck on the money of what it was going to cost you, now you would have missed out on all of that.
Would have missed out.
And you know how many people miss out because their vision is like that. It's
so many people.
And then, Chris, you were able to join in. You know, you didn't put up roadblocks and try to discourage. And I mean, because a lot of times people, especially with married couples, you will find one person who might not be down, if you will, but then they try to bring the situation down instead of saying, all right. So tell me your thoughts on that.
I mean, it's like I said, I'm support her 100%. Whatever she want to do, we can do it. We can do it. Like I said, it's an experience in itself. So you're not just going sitting around. You actually all around us, the country. trying to you seeing all the different sites and stuff, and it's just an experience that you can't get just sitting at home or somewhere like that.
So let me ask from the standpoint of a brother, because there's a few brothers with us on this tour.
Yeah.
As a black man in America, were you born in St. Louis? Is that your area?
Yes.
So you are from the Lou. Y'all are from the Lou, all the way, big arch gateway to the west, whole nine. Sweetie pies and all of the whole deal. Shout out to Miss Robbie. So, what has this trip said to you as a black man from St. Louis, in Missouri? Missouri. Because I don't have St. Louis, Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Kansas. Okay.
It kind of make you feel like you're more than what you told you could be or whatever. Like you can actually be, you can do stuff if you just put your mind to it. Like you walk around, you see all these people out here, everybody out here hustling. It's a million people walking up and down the streets, and everybody got their own thing going on, and it's like, why you can't do that? And it just give you that kind of power that you feel like you can do anything. If let's say you got the hustle, everybody got the kind of born with it. It's kind of instilled in you. So all you gotta do is just put it to use.
Because we hustle. I mean, we know how to do it.
Right. We do.
Quiet as kept because I was looking at, you know, how they sell the produce and sell the clothes. But we do that back in the States too.
We do.
Yeah. And you have people that this is what if they were to come over here, they would feel right at home. They could actually adapt. You know, those who do street vending, they can adapt to this environment relatively quickly. You know, but I think the beauty of it is that you all have been able to make that connection and now go back and take this experience. Why do you think that it's important for our young people to be a part of this experience?
I believe a lot of the young people, a lot of our African American young people, I'm gonna say they're a little spoiled. I'm gonna say I've seen a lot of.
Is it a little spoiled or?
They are. Some of the things that we saw some of these young people doing, walking up and down the street, but you know they got things on their heads. They're working. There's
they
even
kind of got a sense of entitlement. Like they just want to give them. They don't have to work.
Give them what they want. You know, why do I gotta carry that? Why do you see some teenagers walking down carrying boards on top of their heads? Like, I'm not doing that. A lot of our kids don't have they're missing that work ethic. A lot of young people are missing that work ethic because a lot of parents, we have a tendency to just give kids, we just give them, we don't teach them, because a lot of us weren't taught the hustle. A lot of us weren't, you know, my mom made it easy for me. I know that, you know, because she didn't want me to have it as hard as she did when she was young. So then in turn, here I am spoiling our 2-year-old. You know, see, I'm guilty.
Your 2-year-old has nothing coming now.
No. He has nothing coming.
And he's a he. He has nothing coming.
He has nothing coming. Now you see the little kids on the street, they carrying stuff. You know, I think it's important, you know, first of all to see, you know, to appreciate what you have. And the mindset of thinking that all Africans are poor. What I saw, they need to see that you don't have to have Jordans. You don't have to have, they don't have the same, and when I say luxuries, it's not because they're poor, it's because that's just not an import for real.
That's not
really the import here. So you don't see Jordans lined up, you know, on the street and PlayStations and, you know, all the stuff that our kids want and have. Just because they don't have it here doesn't mean they're poor. I believe that they are content. And I would want young people to learn how to be content. So
contentment is what the benefit from the Western side.
Yeah.
That could be Canada, UK,
right.
France,
absolutely,
USA,
absolutely.
Even parts of the Caribbean, and different parts of the world. You begin to see some of what you talk about. There's you talked about how even you were shielded from some of it. I know I was shielded from some of it because my mother didn't want me to go through certain things. Do you think that is detrimental do you think for us it might have been detrimental, which in turn could be detrimental to our children?
I can speak for myself and say yes to a certain degree, because then I was very timid. So even with entrepreneurship type things, my mom had that, but she didn't have the push, and then therefore I didn't get that push either. I would have a lot of great ideas. I had nowhere to go to get that. And so there's a lot of families that don't have that
push.
There's a lot of ideas in these minds of ours, but they don't know how to get it out. What I see here is, I want to do, let me just go out here and do it. They just go out there and they just do it. I don't know if they need permits or anything, so I don't know if they out here.
I heard they
okay.
do. But you know.
Okay.
But it's like in America, sometimes we just make it happen.
We just make it happen. And so I believe that's why young people should come. They need to learn and see other young people
just out here doing it.
They're hustling.
But how do
at
you
15.
explain to them to not feel sorry for them? Because that's another thing that, like, we reinforce. We come in and see how blessed you are, see how privileged you are, and see how it's so looking at them like these children are at a disadvantage. But I personally saw it a little differently.
I don't see it that way anymore.
Yeah.
I do not see it that way anymore.
How do you see it now?
I see it as this is what they know, this is what they're used to. If it's not broke, why do we need to have a nice pretty driveway? What's wrong with the dirt?
Well, you know, some people don't like that. You know,
they're happy. You walk around with the people, you see them smiling and laughing, having a good time, just like anywhere else. And so it's not. They're happy with what they have.
And it's like we almost forget that, say, 40, 50 years ago, America had dirt roads.
We had,
and
some places
still do have dirt roads. And just got like paved roads.
Some people don't have water still in rural areas,
and have outhouses. And that's just one aspect of what we're talking about. Because again, I hear, I want to take you over there so you can see how good you have it. And what I saw when I said it was very different is how what these children are learning here, if you put them in the same environment with many of our entitled, spoiled children, they would run circles around it because they have the hustle.
They have the hustle.
And they've had to survive, so they learn how to adapt. And so all they need, if they have the resources, they know how to exchange commerce. They know how to sell. They know how to be persistent. They know how to. It's like they have something. They have the elements. But they might not have the resources yet.
They might not have the resources yet. Yeah, so hooking up with Kwame was just like, so then I can help be a resource to him and his family.
That's right.
And I would rather do it that way here than with someone back in the States that's don't look like me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and to me, I feel that's me pouring resources into the
people, which in turn it could come back and it could be reciprocated at some point, somehow.
Right.
Tell me some things in addition to what you've already shared that has stuck out to you and resonated with you. Let's say in the dungeons.
That was deep. I think in the dungeons, you hear about slavery, and then if you do in-depth research, you'll read about slavery. But to stand in a room, in a dungeon, you're standing on top of 100-some-year-old feces, urine that's dried up and is now part of the floor. To stand there and to hear how things were conducted, to see a church on top of a dungeon, it just really showed the magnitude of what the slavery really was, what happened, how it broke our people, how it and that's, the residuals are today.
A lot of people don't believe that though. A lot of people say it's old news. I'm telling you, when I hear people talk about it, why can't we just move past it? Why do we have to keep rehashing it? Anytime I hear somebody say that, it's like they must not understand what really happened. It's like, and I mean, I hear people emphatically say, let's move past it. And it's like, of course we have to move past it at some point, but how do you move past it if you don't really understand it? And I think that's what happens when you come here.
I think that's exactly what happens when you come here, because it's not in our history books,
Not the magnitude.
Not the magnitude, and nothing of what they say at the slave dungeons is nothing that's in a book in America.
No.
It's not there. And you understand, I feel like it's a woman who talks about like it's like PTSD, slavery, PTSD or whatever.
Post-traumatic
slave
syndrome. That's right.
And I believe that we suffer from it. And I believe that visiting Ghana, visiting the continent, going into those places, I think that's what helps start the path of, and I don't want to necessarily say moving on from it because we can't forget.
Right, you can't forget.
But I think it helps put that extra fire up under you, you know, just like with watching them hustle, putting that fire up under you to, oh, we got to do better for them.
Right.
You know, our ancestors and what they went through, because we're the ones, we're here because they didn't jump off the boat.
Hey, that's right.
They didn't die of starvation.
And it was probably many of them that did not jump. If you take the DNA and you put it all together.
Yeah.
Because if you look at our DNA, we have so many different tribes that we come from. So it was multiple people who made it through. So it wasn't like one person that got it. Was like
multiple people made it through, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Right. Because only all of them were strong, but only the strongest could survive that, like standing. 200 people in a little bitty room just standing and using the bathroom on top of each other and rising up the leg.
Yeah. And after marching
we walked, you know, walking without our shoes through Slave River. It was an easy walk, but sometimes it's just like, ouch, you know, I think I stepped on a twig I can't imagine walking through that. And that path was cleared for people to walk through. An unpaved, you know, path. Like, what in the world?
I think what astonishes me is the level of apathy that many of us have towards it. I've heard people say, I don't want to go see that stuff. I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
But they want to go live their lush life. They're still chasing after the European mindset. They want to do all that, but then they cry racism. They talk about America so bad, and I got to get away. But they don't want to even understand their own, like that piece of their own history.
Yeah.
Because it's painful, and I sometimes I wonder if it's even painful or they just are in denial. You know,
I think it's a lot. It's more so denial. I think it's more so denial. Maybe some people, you know, don't want to really know because it may spark a type of anger or a, you know, put hate in them. I don't know. But we gotta know. We have to know. Because you can't say that you really don't want to visit here and know this stuff, but then at the same time want reparations.
Right. Well, a lot of people do. A lot of people want
because
reparations.
Now
like they want it like
you
crazy.
Come here and see that, then it's like, oh yeah,
and
run that check.
How about this? They need reparations here.
They need reparations here, absolutely.
How about that? Because when you look at how about this, they need reparations to this day, and we actually fight the same battle.
We fight the same battle
because it's the same. It's the same players who are extracting the resources.
Right.
Yeah. They just took the human resources to America, Brazil, and
right.
But then you have the people who are still here being exploited the same way we claim we're being exploited in America. They're going to do the same thing. It's like, and then America is the one who's here.
America.
See, I had to kind of throw that.
See the
throw that in there.
Right. Okay. Because you know, I see the people walking around, and I'm just like, okay.
It's the same game.
The same game. I'm so nosy. I want to like kind of eavesdrop. Like, what are y'all meeting about? What are y'all trying to do here?
Well, it's clear because it's been the same system.
Yeah.
For the past literally 500 years.
Yes.
Because of the wealth of the continent.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that
right.
We've been told as poor. We've been told we need to come bring aid. We need to come help these poor people. But they're the ones who have the resources.
They have the resources.
We come take the resources, and this is what I tell a lot of black people in America. I said every ounce of wealth we enjoy in America, everything we enjoy is at the expense of places in different parts of Africa because we aren't paying them. So the cheap candy bar, cheap chocolate bar we're able to enjoy at their expense.
Yep.
The cheap copper on the house when we build the new house is at their expense. The diamond that we, all these different things.
Yep, at their expense.
At their expense. So when we talk about we don't want to, it's almost like we have adopted, this is my opinion, it's almost like we have adopted the mentality of the very people who have colonized us.
We have.
And it's like we've forgotten. And it's not all of us. Many of us are waking up to this.
Oh, yes.
Because I heard a wise man, Jeff Wright, that's his name, Jeff Wright. I was talking about coming to Africa, and I was talking about my entrepreneurship initiatives. And he said, you know, Jay, he said, keep this in mind. He said, the majority of the world does not live like how we live in America. He said, if you think about it, many of these countries are being exploited. And so then we went to Kwame Nkrumah's museum, and we learned how the CIA took him out.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
that
like
part. Oh my gosh.
You're like red, white,
and how
blue.
President Kennedy, gave him a blue Cadillac.
Gave him Cadillac.
Okay.
Gave the brother Cadillac.
All right.
So it's, but those things just kind of resonate with me. What are your thoughts about, I guess, and kind of bringing this all together? You're going back inspired. You're going back with your business. For older people, let's say 50 plus, 60 plus, why do you think it's important for them to come?
I think first they're closer to that generation of people who came, than we are 40, and under. A lot of them, 60 plus, experienced the civil rights movement. They experienced Jim Crow. They experienced segregation. I think it's important for them it would be important for them to come here for, I think, all of it to make sense. Like, for all of it to click. Because I know a lot of people they are angry. They are angry when they hear about what the insurrection of January 6th, and a lot of people get angry. But I think it's important as well to see how this thing was created and to hear the side from the African perspective of what happened, how it happened. Because you'll hear them say, and some of us say, well, Africans, they sold us, Africans sold us. They didn't know that what we were getting sold into, though, and then how the different ways that I think that's important for them. It would be important for them to hear that and to know that, because I think all generations have this perception of, all African American generations have this perception of Africans. It's like, we don't like them, they don't like us. And I think they need to see
the truth. They
need to see the truth.
And how that was an old play out of the colonizers' playbook.
Yeah.
And they did that even among the different countries they created here. They had the Ivorians not liking the Ghanaians, not liking the Nigerians, not liking the Togolese. It's a play, and we have to become wiser and not allowing ourselves to get played like this, or they don't like you, or they'll use us against ourselves. And it's like when you know their tactics and you know the history. Now, when you hear something, it's not riddled with nationalism or riddled with like religious. Because they'll use that stuff to play games with your mind and all of that, the system of it all. So I'm thankful that the two of you made it this summer, because I know the journey. I got the emails. We're going to figure this out some kind of way. And Chris, what would you say to the fellas, to the brothers, or anyone who's considering coming, but they might be on the fence. They're kind of on that fence with that thing. Because that's what you taking pictures and taking it all in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you have to come. It's something you can't explain. You have to see it for yourself, and it's such an empowering experience to see exactly where your ancestors, where they came from, what they had to go through, and that kind of give you a sense of pride in knowing they made it through that, and now it's like your life probably ain't that difficult when you look at it, really.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I say, it's just something you gotta come see for yourself.
I like that when you said our lives are not that difficult when you look at it.
Right.
When you look at it, you like, when you learn what they went through.
Right. Yeah.
We did not see any starving children with flies.
See? See what I'm saying? And it's not
or starving donkeys or cows or anything.
Yeah, everything had food everywhere we went.
Yeah, there was food.
Yeah, and
they were selling the food, so I don't know where the starving kids were.
And I'm sure there's some way.
I'm sure, absolutely, but not
like how they do it.
No.
They have done their very best, UNICEF, to make sure that those images are put out there. And this is what I say to people who are part of the African diaspora. Instead of just sending that easy check each month and disconnecting from the people, get on a plane and come connect with the people, and then make that direct investment into them, and really the direct investment into yourself, because you walk away with a benefit because of how it enriches you personally from the knowledge standpoint, but also from the understanding standpoint, and then knowing where your money's going. Because it's easy to just write a check and put it on your credit card and going back to your Western way of living, and say, oh, okay, little Tutu is getting my $10 a month, but little Tutu might only be getting $1, if a dollar, out of the money that you're sending. And that's why you need to check these different organizations and find out how much goes to administrative costs and all of that. So anyway, that's my soapbox. But listen, I want to thank Chris and Lydia for being a part of this particular Maximum Impact Travel Tour.
Amazing.
And would you recommend that they come?
Absolutely. Go to MaximumImpactTravel.com. All right. There's a trip coming up in October.
We got trips coming up all the time. we got October, November.
Okay.
2022 coming. 23. So whenever you're watching this, you might be watching this in 2023.
It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I would recommend it. I'm like, I don't think we could pull the fall. Maybe next year.
Hey, but you know what? You made it, and now you can take what you have started and build on it.
Yeah.
And then when you come over to the east side.
I want to go
to
to the east side.
as they say, and Zanzibar. There's some things you can buy over there. The spices. You might start selling spices.
Okay, I'll do it.
The Spice Islands. That's something that we offer. All right. Well, again, if you're considering traveling and you hear the stories that we share here at Maximum Impact with Jay Cameron, make sure that you like, subscribe, share. As you can tell, one of the things that I'm looking to do is to make sure we shine the light, a positive light, on the continent of Africa. And it's 54 countries, it's thousands of ethnic groups, it's thousands of languages. And yes, we're not saying that there aren't challenges on the continent. They're humans, so there are going to be challenges wherever you go. However, when you get to meet the people and you get to see them firsthand, it will change your life in a way that you don't even realize is happening until you put your feet on the ground. So until next time, make sure you check out MaximumImpactTravel.com and be sure to take care of yourself. Until next time.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level, so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.